Today I'm covering a concept called floor and ceiling. So if you purchase my book Miracles in Minutes or engage in exercise, there's a couple things you need to understand. Even if you find a great exercise that works for you, you need to find the floor in the ceiling. So what do I mean by that? Um, when you work with patients in the general public, or you're personal training someone, or you're working on yourself, everyone has a capacity for growth. Now, if you don't add enough stimulus, the person won't change. If you don't work out enough, you won't see results. Then there's that area where you can gain results. Then there's another area called ceiling. And what happens is if you overstimulate someone, or if you do too much exercise, you won't go up, you'll actually go down. So this is a hard thing to calculate, the floor and the ceiling. But actually there's an easy rule for us to follow. There's a book that I read called Blue Zones. In Blue Zones, a guy named Dan Buettner studied some of the healthiest people from around the world in different cultures and found 7 hot spots. And one of the things he found in the Japanese culture was that most of the Japanese were never overweight. They had a simple rule when they ate. They would only eat until they're 70% full. Funny enough, when we look at exercise and fitness, the Russians in a West Side Barbell ascribe to the same principle. You don't overtrain. You never train to 100%. Now, that's counterintuitive to what we do in the West. But what happens is when you give your all the time 100%, it's like driving your car at red line. And eventually, it's going to break. Same thing happens with people in exercise. They train themselves to the max, they break, they get injured, they actually can throw their body into a state of sympathetic overload where you're exercising more and you're not losing weight, you're actually getting fatter or you're getting hurt. So if you stay in the 70% rule, 70% of what you eat, or 70%, or you're feeling 70% better, probably cut it right there. You're going to be safe. So what that does, it allows you a chance, your brain to digest, just like eating food, what was just done. Now it needs to spin around in there somehow, wire itself, and then integrate so you can use it in your life. If you get too much information or too much stimulus, whether exercise or education, you probably will throw it up just like you would from overeating. So that's kind of the best metaphors I can use to help you understand your own nervous system, your brain, and how to get better results and keep you dialed into I'd rather you undertrain than overtrain, because if you overtrain, you're going to get injured. I'd rather you understimulate than overstimulate, because you're more likely to hurt the person. So you can use this for yourself and your own personal training, or your exercise, or any fitness goal you have, or even if you're trying to learn something. When you're about 70%, call it. Keep that 30% in reserve and allow something to build on for tomorrow. Thanks a lot and have a great day.